Football megastar
Lionel Messi
has tonight signed for Paris Saint-Germain.
This was supposed to be the greatest team football had ever seen.
Paris Saint-Germain are looking to capitalise on uncertainty surrounding the star's future at the Nou Camp.
Billions of pounds spent with one goal in mind.
Paris Saint-Germain apparently are the favourites statistically to win the Champions League.
But you all know how this story goes.
They've got absolutely no chance of winning the Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain, absolutely no chance.
How did the world's greatest super team become football's biggest failure?
This is breaking news on France 24. In a stunning development that will send shockwaves across the footballing world, PSG had officially been taken over by Qatar Sports Investment.
2011, the year PSG transformed from your standard football club to a football empire. Before the takeover, you'd have to go all the way back to 1994 to see PSG win a league title. PSG can now afford the players that they've only dreamt of. It was time for a little shopping spree. And with all their new shiny toys, PSG were untouchable in France.
They hadn't have won the league this season, it'd be absolutely ludicrous. They've got an all-star cast, of course they've won the league.
But Nasser only had one real goal. And in Europe, they were falling short every single time.
The extraordinary powers of Lionel Messi. He's clearly not fit, but he's come on and given the impetus to Barcelona to turn this around and take a place in the semi-finals away from Paris Saint-Germain.
He get his shot away, blocked by Alex, follow up by Aston Equator. It's in! Get in! Demba the hero for Chelsea!
Suarez. Oh, he's gone all the way through. He went past them as if they were not there.
Into the box again, Florentino. De Bruyne shot! De Bruyne scores! Manchester City are through to the semi-finals of the Champions League.
It was time to get real. In 2017, PSG pulled off one of the most shocking transfers the world has ever seen.
Now, Barcelona Football Club has given one of its star players, Neymar, permission to discuss a world record transfer deal with Paris Saint-Germain.
They signed Neymar for just a small fee of €222 million, making Neymar the most expensive player of all time. And by the way, he still is 8 years later. Barcelona fans obviously furious, and it was at this point where the rest of the world turned their head and realised we could have a serious threat on our hands here. And PSG were not done yet.
PSG have apparently agreed a deal to sign the biggest teenage talent in world football, Kylian Mbappe, from their French rivals, Monaco.
We all knew Mbappe was the next global superstar. Young, French and insanely talented. So now PSG had the two most valuable players in world football.
383 million for two players.
PSG is doing what Barcelona did to Liverpool, what Liverpool does to Southampton, and they're all bitching about it.
The ultimate super team was starting to form, but there was still one piece missing. After Barcelona's financial crash, PSG signed Messi for free. But as we know now, even with this insane super team, they still fell short. No matter how hard they tried, they could not reach that one goal of getting the Champions League. When we look at the construction of teams that have been at the forefront of European football in the last 10 years, they all have one thing in common. Players with workhorse mentalities. Players who aren't reluctant to contribute defensively and willing to run themselves into the ground every single game. PSG looked nothing like this. PSG had a FIFA team. Big numbers on FIFA players, so they must be good. Well, that's just not how football works. You can afford to have one star, but when you have a collection of them, all you have is a broken system and a dressing room full of egos. And we've seen it spill over onto the pitch many times. As Mbappe went from a youngster to a global icon, many fans started to see Mbappe as the true leader of that PSG attack. A shift that Neymar did not take lightly. It was more than clear that there was bad blood between them. We saw them argue constantly over stupid things like penalties and misplaced passes. And when it comes to Messi, it just seems like he never really connected with the club. He seemed unbothered at times and probably more focused on his national team at Argentina. But maybe you can't really blame him. One of the biggest red flags at PSG was their absolute lack of tactical stability. Similar to Manchester United, managers were coming and going every season. Since the actual Qatar takeover, we've seen 7 different managers. Ancelotti laid the foundations but left for Madrid. Laurent Blanc dominated France but lacked that tactical flexibility in Europe. Unai Emery, a tactical mess and responsible for the 6-1 Barcelona collapse. Thomas Tuchel took PSG to their first Champions League final but was sacked months later. Pochettino struggled to handle superstar egos. Gautier, who was just never fully in control. And last of all, Luis Enrique, who's yet to prove himself in Europe. Every manager, of course, has their own philosophy and signings. So this just meant that the team was constantly being reshaped. If you look at teams like Real Madrid, Bayern Munich and Manchester City, they have a clear tactical identity. PSG felt like a team built on pure vibes rather than strategy. So egos and no tactical identity isn't great, but my main problem with PSG is just their awful mentality. Over the years, it seems like any time they've had to face a real challenge, they just collapse. Let me show you. Before PSG had completely broke the bank for Neymar and Messi, they faced Barcelona in the Champions League, and they absolutely demolished them in the first leg, winning 4-0. The tie was surely over. No team in history has ever blown a 4-0 lead in the Champions League. In the second leg, Suarez scores 1-0 early on, and followed shortly after was an own goal, and all of a sudden it was 2-0 at half time. Still 4-2 up low on aggregate, this shouldn't be a problem. Barcelona score a penalty and it's 3-0, but thankfully PSG finally react and Cavani gets one back. It's 3-1, the game surely done. A crucial away goal. Barcelona now need 3 goals in 30 minutes to get through. Surely impossible.
Let's see what Neymar can do here. Neymar hits it. Oh, what a goal! What a goal by Neymar! What a beautiful free kick!
7 minutes ago and PSG are panicking. Another penalty goes Barcelona's way and Neymar converts it again. Somehow Barcelona now only need 1 goal. PSG are shitting themselves. And of course, in the 95th minute,
now 30 seconds remaining. Neymar chips it forward and Sergio Ronaldo has done it! Can you believe this? Oh my goodness me! This is fantasy stuff. Pinch yourself. That really happened.
the biggest collapse of all time. Fast forward to 2019 and PSG have just beaten Manchester United at Old Trafford in the first leg of the round of 16. United had 10 first team players out injured. The second leg should be a formality. Then just 2 minutes after kickoff,
well, that's a bit short. Lukaku's in, real chance, round the goalkeeper, can he score? Yes!
some serious early panic, but they managed to stabilise and get a goal of their own.
Mbappe, far post, equaliser.
But as the game went on, PSG missed chance after chance, and suddenly another mistake at the back and PSG are up 3-2 on aggregate. They managed to get all the way to the 91st minute and then this happened.
Incredible! I told you, he's given the penalty. 4th minute of stoppage time. Rashford against football. It's Rashford! And Manchester United have produced the impossible. Rashford, nerves of steel.
And finally, the latest collapse was in 2022. They beat Madrid 1-0 in the first leg. Madrid had 0 shots on target. PSG were in complete control. Then back at the Bernabeu, it was looking a similar story. Complete domination, and it seemed like this time things were finally going to be different. And Mbappe scored 2-0 up now on aggregate, things are surely over. But then came the famous 17-minute breakdown.
Donnarumma. Benzema caused it, here's Vinicius. It's Karim Benzema and the back in it. Luka Modric once more. Good ball into Karim Benzema, it's in! He off the ball defending to... Oh, he's done it! Karim Benzema again!
These 3 absolute disasters exposed PSG's biggest flaws. They couldn't handle pressure in the big moments, they had no true leaders to guide them through any adversity, and finally they had no defensive stability. When things go wrong, they go wrong. And this is why all these PSG super teams have failed. Money can buy you superstars, but it can't buy you a good mentality. And after this embarrassing defeat, it looked all set that Mbappe would leave for Madrid. But in absolute desperation, PSG offered him the most insane contract we've ever seen.
So it's a 3-year deal. It's £1 million a week in wages. It's £100 million in a signing on fee. And there are all sorts of bonuses for goals, for Champions League performances, for Ballon d'Ors. And he has control over certain of his image rights.
So effectively, Mbappe was now the most powerful player in the world. And of course, egos were hurt in this decision. Neymar felt like he was the top dog, and reports started to surface that Mbappe wanted him gone. It's a World Cup final where cracks started to show. Argentina v France, Mbappe v Messi. Mbappe scored 3, but Messi went home with the trophy. Either way, a game that important can't be forgotten. Messi now had that over Mbappe, and things were always going to be a little bit strange starting the season. Just a really weird relationship dynamic between all three of them, and it was starting to show in their performances. Another round of 16 Champions League exit, and fans had had enough.
One of soccer's greatest ever players is coming to America.
That's right. Argentina's Lionel Messi has announced his next move after deciding to leave French giants PSG.
Breaking news, significant breaking news. It's to do with the Saudi Pro League. Al Hilal have just announced the signing of Neymar from PSG.
The superstar project had crumbled, and all that was left was Mbappe and a broken team. PSG tried their best to reset, this time signing young, hard-working players like Dembele, Colomani and Ramos. The goal was clear, build a team around Mbappe, just the one superstar this time. But things went immediately wrong.
The most drawn-out transfer saga of all time, I think, is nearly at an end because we can say that Real Madrid are expected to announce and confirm the signing of Kylian Mbappe.
Everything PSG had done for Mbappe, and now he was leaving for free. In their eyes, this was the ultimate betrayal. And just like that, all three superstars were gone. From 2017 to 2023, PSG tried to build a Galactico-style squad, spending over 1.4 billion on transfers. But what did they actually achieve? Countless French titles, but 0 Champions League trophies. PSG will never ever have a team that expensive and that star-studded again. The super team experiment is over, and it will be remembered as one of football's biggest failures. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Trying to get to 100 subscribers, so it would really mean the world. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.